Hello, my lovelies. I'm Ray, and welcome back to Grand Old Academy. Okay, so we're off to chemistry class. I think. I don't know. It's been a while. Okay, so my next class was chemistry, which was held in our lab room on the third floor of Beltway Hall. Once again, finding the classroom was a trial in and of itself, but fortunately, I had allowed myself enough time to search, and I made it before the bell rang. When I got to the lab, students were milling around and chatting. There were half a dozen tables around the perimeter of the room, each one mounted with nozzles for Bunsen burners and situated near a cabinet of glassware. I noticed some students taking seats at one table, then being waved over to the other side of the room by friends and relocating. This class didn't have assigned seating, I gathered. I made my way to the only table that was completely empty and took a seat. I could feel myself getting glances from the students who hadn't been in my previous class with me, but after seeing how easily the students in my homeroom had warmed up to me, I didn't feel too nervous. I even felt bold enough to meet the eyes of a few of them and give them a small smile and waves. They smiled back, but still, none of them seemed eager to sit with the new girl until... Hi there! I turned to look at the student who had just stealthily slid into the seat beside me. When I realized who it was, I almost gasped. It was Marco. He looked even more handsome up close than he had from the audience at the auditorium or across the lawn of Sunshine Dorm. His perfect skin, his dreamy eyes, that incredible smile that seemed to have its own gravitational pull. Marco! That's me. He flashed his trademark smile at me. I heard all the girls nearby let out small, wistful sighs. Figure it's about time I properly introduced myself, being your RA and all. So consider this my introduction. Hi. He extended his hand towards me, and I shook it. His skin was as soft as it looks, even if it was a little sweaty. Hi. I'm America. Thank you. For being my RA, I mean. For advising me, residentially. I wasn't normally the type to be this overwhelmed by a handsome boy sitting next to me, but then again, I couldn't remember ever meeting a boy quite as handsome as Marco. You're very welcome, America, and if you ever need one-on-one advising from me, residentially or otherwise, if you know what I mean, my room's just down the stairs from yours. Drop in anytime, day or night. God damn it. Now I'm the one thinking like, get some. Thank you. My knees felt wobbly, and I was certain that I was blushing heavily. I could practically feel the jealousy of the other girls in the classroom washing over me in waves, a few more Marco's smiles in my direction, and I was afraid that I might drown in that jealousy. While I was staring into Marco's eyes, I heard someone else slide into the seat on the other side of me. I reluctantly broke Marco's gaze and turned to see who it was. Hello. Eek! I couldn't keep myself from crying out in shock at the sudden contrast. On my left sat the embodiment of physical perfection, and on my right sat... I'm Ted. Can I sit here? I guess so. I'm America. It's nice to meet you, Ted. Ted nodded, and he leaned forward to look past me and waved. Hi, Marco. Marco didn't return his greeting. Instead, he just scoffed in apparent disgust. All the warmth I had felt previously emanating from Marco suddenly evaporated in the presence of his bedraggled foil. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a funny word. So, America, you're the new girl, huh? That's exciting. Is it? Ted nodded, breathing heavily and loudly. I forced back a shudder. Before the situation could get any stranger, the school bell rang and a tall man with frizzy white hair and thick black-rimmed glasses strode into the classroom. Good afternoon, class. We stood and bowed as the teacher took his place at the front of the classroom, behind a desk unadorned except for a single daisy and a vase. As you can tell, we have a new student. I started to scoot my chair backwards, getting ready to stand and introduce myself. But we're not going to let that distract us from our studies, are we? So everyone say hello to America, and then we'll move on. That was perfect. I self-consciously scooted my chair back, and as a chorus of Hello Americas rang through the classroom, I was a little surprised to realize I had been looking forward to the ceremony of introducing myself to this new class, but I had to admit that Mr. Goldwater had a point. We were there to learn, not make social visits. In my heart, I knew he was right. The first half of the class period was filled with boring slideshow presentation. When Mr. Goldwater flipped the lights back on, we all cringed like nocturnal lemurs brought back into the sunlight for the first time. Are lemurs nocturnal? I don't know. Are lemurs nocturnal? So even they're asking. I don't fucking know. Are they? I know they like to move it. They like to move it. That was a really bad joke. Moving on. Now, everyone, partner up with the student next to you to complete this worksheet on nuclear fission. I quickly glanced to my left, then to my right. Ted, Marco, and I were the only three at our table. What do you say, America? Want to partner with good old Ted? Before I could answer, Marco jumped in. Or she could be my partner instead. I think we'd make a great Team America. Ooh, I could be either Ted's partner or Marco's. Ooh. No, fuck, that's not a choice. Fuck you, I'm being Marco's partner. Because fuck you, Ted. You creep the fuck out of me. Seriously, when Ted smiles, he looks like he's going through, like, school yearbook photos, except he has to watch somebody, like, kick his dog during the process. So basically, he's trying to smile, but at the same time, he's, like, dying on the inside because someone's kicking his dog. That's what he looks like when he smiles. That sounds super specific. We're gonna move on. Yeah, I think so too, Marco. Let's do it. Marco flashed a dazzling, toothy smile at me and then turned to Ted. Sorry, pal. Good luck finding someone who's willing to put up with you. A pathetic frown formed on Ted's face, the sides of his mouth slowly sliding downwards like butter in a hot pan. He grabbed his backpack, stood, and slouched to the center of the room. It looked like nobody was in a hurry to partner up with him. I felt a little bad for him. Poor guy. Maybe I should have taken him up on his offer. He looks so sad. No, trust me. You're better off not getting involved with Ted. That guy's a total weirdo. No one in the academy can stand him. Sorry, I'm starting us off on the wrong foot. I'm actually not a negative guy, I swear. It's just that Ted tends to bring out the worst in people. Let's get started on that worksheet. Marco flipped on his broad smile again, and I was instantly ready to forgive him for his insults towards Ted. If I didn't know better, I'd say there was something magical, somehow hypnotic, about that smile of his. But no, it wasn't anything supernatural. He was just that damn handsome. Marco reached into his backpack and pulled out his chemistry textbook, a notebook, and a water bottle. He took a quick swig of water, flipped through his notebook until he found the right page, and then sipped his water again. He must have known me watching him drinking, because he pointed to his water bottle and winked. Gotta stay hydrated, right, America? Keeps your skin looking young. That's chemistry. Speaking of water, got a mug of water right here. Wouldn't that be biology? Marco winked at me again in response. Speaking of young, you're a first year, right? That's right. How did you get into this chemistry class then? The syllabus says that's for second years and up. I was in the intro to chemistry class with all the other first years last semester, but it was too easy for me, probably because I had such a good chemistry with everyone. Ha ha! Go fuck a duck! He waved at a student across the room who was looking in our direction. Her eyes rolled back in her head and she sighed blissfully. Anyways, I mentioned to my buddy Jeb and he got me transferred up to this class. It's a little unconventional, but Jeb's got plenty to pull with the administration because of his name. His name? What do you mean? A small frown darted across Marco's face for a fleeting second, but was quickly replaced by his go-to smile. It's not important. Jeb doesn't really like to talk about it, so forget I mentioned it. I found it endearing how protective he was of Jeb. So Jeb's your... Shoot. What's the English word for senpai? Senpai? Never mind, I'll explain it to you later. Maybe there wasn't an English word for it at all, but Jeb and Marco were clearly in a classic senpai-kohai relationship. I could spot one a mile away. You and me both, girl. Actually, is there an English word? I don't think there's an English word for senpai. I think it's just we call like them upperclassmen. Yeah. I mean, regardless, I call people my senpai. I have a senpai technically. I have a senpai who loves and cares for me. She's like a mother to me. Actually, we call her mom sometimes. She's more mom than senpai. Marco opened his textbook to a relevant chapter. One glance at it told me that I was hopelessly out of my depth. I wasn't eager to have Marco, an apparent chemistry prodigy, find out how little I knew. So I tried to engage in some more small talk, hoping that Marco would do most of the worksheet himself while chatting with me. Nice weather, huh? I suppose so. How about I do the odd questions and you do the even ones? Small talk obviously wasn't working. Maybe I could try a topic that Marco seemed more interested in. Himself. So, when's your birthday? May 28th. I'm a Gemini. Why do you ask? Are you planning on getting me a special present? Hey. Well, if I am, it should be a surprise, right? The tactic seemed to be succeeding. I decided to press on. So you'll be turning 17 in May then? Oh, what? If you're a first year, you must be 16 now, right? Don't worry about that. Here, let's focus on that worksheet. Well, I'm 18, and so are the other third years, which would make you... No, I'm 18 too. Really. Marco seemed quite uncomfortable for the first time in our conversation. He took a long gulp of water. So that'll make you 20 when you graduate from high school? That doesn't sound right. Let's just drop it, okay? When a neutron strikes a nucleus of an unstable molecule. And that's when it hit me. Oh, the age of consent is higher in the United States than it is in Japan, isn't it? The molecule undergoes nuclear fission, a process which produces... Got it. You're 18. I gave him a small wink. Gotta keep this game legal, right? Why are we on thin ice with all these likelinesses? Good thing that parody is covered by fair use legislation, right? Hey, Lamau, what fourth wall? Ha! Good catch, America, good catch. Lighter nuclei of new atoms, free neutrons and energy. Marco was frantically filling out the entire worksheet himself, trying to avoid eye contact with me. Just as planned. But as I continued to watch him, I started to feel a little guilty. His brow was covered in sweat, and he looked genuinely uncomfortable. I felt like I was getting a window of insight into Marco's personality. It seemed to me like he was on his game. He was unflappable and apparently perfect. But as soon as he was thrown off his group, he crumbled into a nervous mess. When a neutron strikes the nucleus of an unstable molecule, the molecule undergoes nuclear fission, a process which produces lighter nuclei of new atoms, neutron, and energy. Hadn't he just said that exact sentence? Are you okay, Marco? Marco looked up from his worksheet and smiled at me. Of course I am, America. When a neutron strikes the nucleus of an unstable molecule, the molecule undergoes nuclear fission, a process which produces lighter nuclei of a new atom, free neutrons, and energy. That's chemistry. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely the same sentence, 3 times in a row. Now I was the one feeling uncomfortable. I'm changing something to apologize. Let's change the subject. I decided the best way to put Marco at easy on was just to pretend that the last 5 minutes hadn't even happened. So tell me more about these free neutrons. Gladly. You see, when a neutron isn't partnered with one or more protons of the nucleus of an atom, it has a mean lifetime of 15 minutes before it undergoes beta decay. Now that Marco was back on a familiar subject, he suddenly seemed much more calmer and more composed. He stopped sweating, and he didn't reach for his water as often. He was back in his groove. Thus the class period passed quickly, with Marco finishing the worksheet mostly by himself. When the bell rang, Marco swaggered up to the front of the classroom to turn in the worksheet. He had a cute butt. Glad I noticed that. As soon as my conscious brain caught up to my subconscious and I realized what I had just thought, I began to blush. I wasn't used to thinking of boys in that way. It was true, though. Marco returned to our table and grinned at me. Piece of cake, right, America? We should partner up again next time. We have great chemistry. Even though he had made that joke earlier in the class period, I still couldn't help but swoon. Damn that seductive smile of his. Damn you, handsome men! Oh, fuck. Marco tossed his books into his backpack, slung it over one shoulder, and headed out of the classroom. Just before he walked through the doors, he turned back for just a moment and winked at me. Ah, swoon! I don't even give a fuck, man. The happy warmth I felt in my chest was more than enough to protect me from the daggers that the other girls in the class were shooting at me from their eyes. It was only once I came back down to earth that I realized Marco had left his water bottle on the table. I grabbed it and shoved it in my own backpack, resolving to return it to him later. It was a considerate thing to do. Plus, it would give me a chance to talk to him again. Hey. After the last class of the day, we all returned to our homerooms. And I'm going to stop that there because I've been reading for a while. I might go down the Marco route because that seems like a very interesting route. Also because the fourth wall does not exist in that route whatsoever. But again, alright, so by the time you guys see this, the Kickstarter will be closed. Hopefully they have reached their goal. I really hope they do because I really like this game. Like, I'm not a Republican person, like, whatsoever, but, like, I do like the whole parody concept. And the fact that there's, like, 0 fourth wall. Like, the amount of times I've broken the fourth wall is just amazing. Amazing. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos. Recommend me games. Let me know what you think of this game down in the comment section below because I want to know what people think of this. Also, if you guys want me to do actually like a full playthrough of the demo, or if you guys want me to do a full playthrough if the game actually does get released, I'd like to know that too. Don't forget to make bad luck choice. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, my lovelies.